Hello, we are live.
Hi.
On YouTube.
Yeah. This is true.
Yes, we go live Wednesdays about 6 o'clock-ish. Pacific time. I think we did to say Pacific time.
Pacific time. Specific time.
Specifically the Pacific time.
Yes, specifically.
Yes. Find your time zone if you want to go live and chat with us. We put this out on Twitter, on our Facebook, when we go live, so that way you can come in and chat with us. And whoa, my gosh, Hootsuite signed us out.
Oh no!
I have no idea what the login is.
Better log back in.
Use the passwords. Come on.
Because you'll find out.
Nope. Cancel. Okay.
You got this. I believe in you.
Why would you do this to me, Hootsuite? Just because I updated the app?
That's probably exactly why they would do this to you. Because you updated the app.
Okay, one last try here. Unable to sign in. Well, crap. Sign in with Google. Not now. Sign in.
Whoop.
Sign in.
Never mind. You're home. Hello.
Duro.
We're just about to start. Good timing.
You brought food.
No.
You brought... Oh.
That's different. Very different.
I bought stuff from out of my old car.
Hey.
Actually shopping. Out.
Why are we not live? Why is this not working?
I don't know, because you don't remember the password. It's a struggle.
IndiaBoatPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah,
that is
the
us.
correct email, but
yes.
The password's not correct.
But the password.
But the password.
Are you happy? Are you happy? Look at that.
Sign up. I don't want to sign up. I want to sign in. That's why I'm doing the sign up.
That might be the problem.
Sign in.
Oh my god.
It's probably not letting you because it's like you use these
Did
stuff
Dad get you
before.
for
Yes.
Wow.
You're so happy.
Is it stuck in your mouth?
Media boy. Booey. That's not right.
That's not it.
And
Oh, I gotta have to use that thing.
Where's my...
ha! I knew it.
Yeah.
Yes, safe password. I got in.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Oh yeah, your box is here.
No, it's not. It's over here now.
Crossfire.
You got caught up in it.
Did you get crossfire?
You got caught up in the crossfire.
Really?
Wait. Like the Nerf? Or the game?
The game.
The
Like he wanted to get the game when he was a kid and
never got it.
so now
So now that he's adult, he can basically be like, yeah. It's like me with Legos.
That'd be like me if I got like Mousetrap. When I was a kid, I always wanted Mousetrap. My parents said no.
Mousetrap is...
Now I have zero desire to play Mousetrap. But when I was 6, I wanted Mousetrap.
It was fun until you started losing pieces.
That's what I've heard, yes. But there's a lot of things.
Apparently, rain is in our
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
That's what the doctor just told me. Like,
Rain is
be
coming.
careful of the rain. He's like, what rain? It's not raining.
Rain's coming.
It will.
Rain's a
It
coming.
will come soon.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
It will come soon. Okay, sure. All right, let's get rolling.
Okay, let's get going.
Let's start.
All right, we're
Get
starting.
this done.
We're starting. Clap, clap. Clapperboard. We're starting.
Just imagine we have an on-air light.
Because I am on air like.
You're walking on air.
I'm walking on air.
You're walking on air because
Whoa.
it's the Media Boat Podcast.
And don't it feel good?
And don't
Hey.
it feel good? It's the Media Boat Podcast. If you don't know what we are a podcast that brings you news about movies, television, video games, and music. Not necessarily in that order. Today is February 20th, 2019. This is episode 163. My name is Matt. His name is Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt.
It's true.
This is our pre-Oscar show, but not our Oscar prediction show.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a little bit here. We'll talk about some Oscar stuff. But yes, our actual predictions for the awards will be in a separate spin-off podcast. Shouldn't be very long, but I decided to spin that off because, give us some time to actually talk about it and not feel rushed.
Make a case for Black Panther.
No. I mean, if you want to do that, go right ahead.
I will make a case for it. I will make a strong
And
case
you're
for it.
going to be really wrong.
We'll see.
You're going to be very wrong.
We will
But
see.
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Well, we'll get to that here.
Yeah.
Here is our regular show. Not the regular show, but our regular show.
No, this is
where
regular.
we cover
This
the
is our
news.
podcast about regular show. We're just going to sit here and talk about no.
Regular
This
show
is the Media
ended.
Book Podcast, and we always start the Media Book Podcast by talking about movies, and we always start talking about movies by talking about the weekend box office numbers.
Yes, as it was a holiday weekend, we have 4-day weekend totals.
Your 4-day weekend totals. So let's start at the top, and at the top, we had kind of a predictable one. We didn't necessarily pick a number one last week, but if we had, I probably would have guessed this would be it. Alita Battle Angel.
Yes, Alita: Battle Angel from Robert Rodriguez
Yes.
and Lightstorm Studios.
Yeah, and executive producer James Cameron.
Yes, that's the Lightstorm. That's where Lightstorm comes
The
in.
association.
Yes.
There. But yeah, Alita Battle Angel, this is your big-eyed lady movie.
Yes. Big eye, CGI, anime,
Action fest.
action style film.
Every person that I've heard, both on the internet and in real life, that has seen this, said that it's ridiculous, like it's fun and it's full of action.
It's fun and over
And
the
that's
top.
what matters. Apparently, that's what this movie is.
That's all I would want from the film. It
I mean,
looks
yeah.
like an anime, fun, over the top film.
So if that's what you want, go see it. It sounds like it's recommended for what it is. And
I will-
It doesn't pretend to be anything that it's not.
So I planned on seeing this yesterday, but
Yeah.
I got caught up doing some other stuff related.
Aha, I figured.
So I couldn't.
Important things.
Yes, I have other important things
You have
besides seeing
important things on
Alita.
your calendar.
Yes. But it is on my radar. I will go see it. It sounds like a big, dumb popcorn flick that I
Yeah.
will enjoy.
Yeah. So if you, plenty of people saw that this weekend, and it made $33 million.
That is not plenty of people. I don't know what you're thinking.
I mean, $33 million worth of people is not something to sneeze at. It's not a wonderful total for a movie that ostensibly probably cost $200 million. But it's something. It's a start.
Yes, but
That
this
thing-
is also meant to play for an international audience as well.
Yes, and that's why total worldwide it's sitting at 42. So it made a little additional money worldwide. So
Oh, that's
that'll
not
take-
worldwide. That's
well,
domestic.
That's just domestic.
That's just domestic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In that case, we'll see how it does internationally to kind of make up for that less than stellar opening. Excuse me, that was a gross burp.
Totally keeping that in.
Yeah, totally didn't realize that was going to come out. But yeah. It is what it is. I mean, this is a weird time to release a movie like that.
It is.
Number 2, Lego Movie slips down to number 2 with a $27 million, adding to its $69 million total. Nice.
Nice.
Domestic.
Nice. But when you realize that the Lego Movie made that in its opening weekend, we don't like to bring that
We
up.
already had a lower opening. It's not going to obviously do as well in the second week.
I know.
It's just, these things are going to happen.
Yes.
Isn't it romantic? Your Rebel Wilson romantic comedy
Chris
satire.
Hemsworth.
Coming in at number 3 with $16 million.
Okay.
What Men Want, number 4, $12 million this week. And Happy Death Day to You rounds out your top 5 with another $11 million. So, yeah, low numbers this week, but what you gonna do?
I'm going to see what's coming up this week.
Coming up this weekend, you have a big hitter.
Okay.
This is probably your number 1 next week.
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Colon.
The Hidden World.
There you go.
Yeah, the 3's not actually in the title.
I know.
How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. That's
But-
your one movie this week.
But it is How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Everything else got out of the way. This is it.
Yep. I'm planning on seeing this. I actually turned on the first film.
Yeah.
It was on TV the other day. I turned it on. Yeah, still enjoyable.
I have not seen the first one all the way through, and I have not seen the second one at all.
Okay.
I've seen parts of the first movie. I've had plenty of people tell me that I should, and that they're good, and that I need to watch them. I just wasn't impressed with what I saw, the parts of what I saw from the first one. I just was like, all right, I'm not interested in any of this. So
the first
I have a
one
hard
is
time.
more of a kid's movie. It's like a kid training his dog. Or
Yeah.
training his dragon.
That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very kid heartfelt thing.
And yeah.
Second one's more of an adult thing, but they kind of tread the same tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling the third one's going to be the same thing.
Kind of.
But I enjoyed both of them,
Yeah.
so I'll see it.
A lot of people like it,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It's just, I have a hard time getting into it.
It's okay if it's not for you.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm just getting ahead of that before people start yelling at me.
Don't worry, I'll yell at you over Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's your only movie. So did you see any movies this week? You said you didn't see Alita.
No, I did not see Alita, like I said.
No movies.
No new movies.
No new movies.
Yeah, nothing new, nothing too...
Not since Lego.
No.
We blew our movie. We saw Lego.
Well, we wanted to see Lego.
Yeah.
We had high hopes for that.
So no, I didn't see any movies either. So we can move on to the movie news.
All right, let's move on to movie news.
Of course, the biggest movie news is that the Academy Awards are this weekend. But like I said, we'll get to that.
Yes.
But the first bit is an update about the new Dune.
So I've been tracking this for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to track this because the cast just seems pretty stellar here.
A Dune remake is still going to happen, but
Yes.
this one is going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Sure, yes, that's your Blade Runner 2049 director.
Yes.
He has been, and the cast is finally been revealed. It will star hot piece actor currently Timothée Chalamet.
Yes, future Batman.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
I'm calling it future Batman.
Rebecca Ferguson, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, and recently added Jason Momoa.
That sounds like a pretty good cast
Or
right
Jason
there.
Momoji, as I've started calling him.
Not Jason Mimosa?
No, Jason Momoji. Imagine a Jason Momoa Momoji. That's a Jason Momoji.
Jason Momoa.
Because when we were watching the Grammys, they showed all those Momoji commercials. And so I was like, they should make one of Jason Momoa and call it Jason Momoji.
No.
Anyways. The script was written also by Villeneuve.
Yes, who also partly wrote 2049.
Okay, makes sense. Eric Roth, who I guess co-wrote Stars Born, and John Spates, who co-wrote Doctor Strange.
There's some pretty good movies right there.
So yeah, pretty decent cast, pretty decent people behind the script.
Yep.
You
got some
pretty good director.
Got some Oscar-nominated writers right there.
Be all right.
Oscar-winning director.
Cinematographer. I mean, if they get a cinematographer, then we'll see.
Libatique, probably.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, Dune's coming together. Finally. I'm sure a lot of people who are a fan of the franchise are very excited by this.
Yes. And for those of you who have no idea what Dune is, it may be seem weird because you're like, oh,
What
Dune,
is this? Why are all these
sci-fi
people-
classic. But then you read the synopsis like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There may be some disconnect when this comes out, but if anything, it's gonna look and feel great.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Production design. Again.
Yes.
Let's talk about some production design. This has got to probably have some production design to it. All right, let's move on to our next story.
Yeah.
Let's talk about unions.
The onions.
Yes, let's talk about onions, but let's also talk about unions. Talks have been happening between the WGA, that's the Writers Guild, and the ATA, which is the Association of Talent Agents, for a new franchise agreement that is currently headed in the right direction. The WGA's main goals would ban packaging deals. If you're not familiar with the term package, Mike, take it away. What's a package?
So a package is currently sitting between my legs.
No,
Okay.
no, stop.
All right.
In film lingo, what is a package?
Okay, so a package is if the agent basically packages together a deal with a writer, director, producer. Basically, because the agent is basically representing 3 different people, he can package them together and basically take 10% from each of them.
Right. A package deal.
Yeah, a package deal.
Anyways, the WGA is trying to ban this. It's not in the best interest of the writers, according to the union. So they're saying they're trying to ban packaging deals and prohibit agencies from being involved in productions, saying it's a conflict of interest, which would beholden agencies only to their 10% commissions. The current agreement hasn't been renegotiated in more than 40 years, by the way.
Yep.
And it's set to expire on April 6th, after which the WGA could ask its members to abandon their agents if a deal isn't reached. So they're taking advantage of this expiration, being like, this is our time to try to remove these archaic systems that were developed in the 70s for film.
Yep. I mean, back then, it does make sense because that's how you get writers on films. Like, you just attach them to it. But if you have big enough names, you're kind of like relying on your agent to force you as a writer to work on specific films that you may or may not actually want to.
Right, exactly. This is like, I think the union's onto something here. You don't want to necessarily trap people into the projects that are not, that aren't in their best interest.
Right, and the agent, because they would get 10% from it, doesn't have that much of an interest. Just as long as you sign the papers and get paid, then they'll get paid.
Right.
So this is looking more up for the WGA, which is headed in the right direction.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. That sounds good to me. Well, that's already it for movie news. 2 very quick stories for you.
Yes.
So let's move right on into television.
Well, any other thoughts?
No.
Okay, I
didn't
have
see
one.
anything,
I have
so
one quick thought.
Briefly talk about something.
Yes. News broke this afternoon that Chris Hemsworth, will be playing Hulk Hogan, yes, that Hulk Hogan, in a new biopic.
Yeah, I saw that too, very briefly. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That'll be interesting, considering the kind of that 2018 was not very kind to the image of
Hulk Hogan.
Mr. Hollywood, and so yeah,
Yes.
it'll be interesting to see what tone that movie takes.
I believe it will focus mainly on his wrestling career, and not so much his later in life exploits.
Let's hope. Let's certainly hope so.
Yes.
All right, now let's talk about TV.
Okay.
And we always start TV with sports. What's been going on in the world of sports, you ask?
Well, since you asked, this past weekend was the NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah, NBA All-Star Weekend. You have down here that Team LeBron beat Team... All right, cross your fingers for me. Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
That was close.
Yes.
178 points to 164.
That seems a bit on the high side.
So did you watch this?
I watched the first half.
Okay. Was it entertaining at all?
It was entertaining. I mean, the score was 98 of 87.
Yeah. My favorite basketball player with a Pokemon last name, Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Was your All-Star MVP with 38 points.
Yes. He almost had a triple-double, actually,
Delicious.
in the game. I know. So.
I could go for that right now, actually.
Yeah, he was 2 blocks shy. Or 2 assists shy, my bad.
In fact, I have a gift card.
Oh.
That gets me a free triple double. If say I
A
want.
triple double?
It's a free burger. It doesn't say what kind.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that you're free to choose whatever kind of combination burger you want.
A Frying Dutchman?
It doesn't say you can't.
Okay.
I'm interpreting the free burger as any burger I want. I'll probably just get a double double though.
Yeah.
When I use it. I'm not that creative. But yeah.
Like a 2x4?
It doesn't say you can't get a 2x4.
Go to get 2x4 from
do some
Internet.
construction. And I need a 2x4. Then yeah, I can go and get.
You go from In-N-Out. We'll give you a 2x4.
In-N-Out. We're talking about In-N-Out burgers, by the way. If you didn't figure that out, we're a California-based podcast. Anyways,
what else happened during the All-Star weekend?
the rookie Hamidou Diallo. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did.
Of the Oklahoma City Thunder won the dunk contest by jumping over Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes, Shaq at 7 foot.
Is tall.
Yeah.
So that's no small feat.
No, it's not. But
in fact, his feet are enormous.
His feet are 14s, I believe.
Probably.
18s, custom made.
So that is quite, that's a challenge. But this dude,
yes.
Hamidou.
Yes.
Hamidou did it.
No board springs or anything, just the springs in his quads.
Yeah, good. Just his natural springs.
Natural springs.
Yep.
Not those natural springs.
Yes, natural spring water.
Yep. Jumping over Shaq and dunking it.
Cool.
By the way, when he dunked it, his entire arm went into the hoop, so he's hanging like this.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Oh, and just top it off, he had a Superman underneath, because, why not?
Why not? Because he's proved he was.
Yep.
Also in sports, Manny Machado has agreed to a 10-year, $300 million contract with the San Diego Padres.
That is the largest contract ever for a free agent. Previous record holder, Albert Pujols, for 10 years, $250 million.
Cool.
So
that's a lot of money.
It is.
Does this mean that people are going to care about the Padres at all, or is this just? Are we still writing off the Padres?
So we saw what happened with Albert Pujols.
Right.
My guess is no.
So no, I don't think anybody's going to still no one will care about the Padres.
Unless they somehow find themselves a Mike Trout-esque player.
Like, they need to get another hitter.
Another one.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah. It's something for the Padres.
It's something.
But that's a great payday.
Yeah. That's it for sports. Unless you have anything else that happened in sports land.
Golf happened this past weekend in L.A.
No one cares.
No one cares? Okay. No.
Speaking for everyone.
Oh. I will be speaking, though.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, March Madness begins.
Wow. Already. Oh, shit. We need to think about our bracket.
Yes. We need to do a bracket here.
Do we need to decide that now?
No.
Okay, good.
But we will be doing our own March Madness tournament bracket.
I remember we talked briefly about possibly doing a Marvel bracket.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to do that, though. Because that would involve watching a lot of Marvel movies. And they're all 2+ hours long.
Yes.
And I don't want to spend my time doing that.
Well, see, we did Disney films and then we did Pixar. Maybe we do something non-Disney related?
I was even going to say, maybe we do something not movie related.
We do something not movie related.
We could do television. We could even do video games. What if we did video games? What if, bear with me here.
Okay.
We did video game franchises.
Ooh.
Think about it.
We could do that.
You would be lobbying for Kingdom Hearts the whole time, but that's okay.
That's okay. There's a whole Nintendo slew of stuff.
Because Pokemon would probably beat it. So yeah, this is. We'll talk about this.
Lord.
There's a lot of options within video games that I think we could consider.
Yeah, I think we don't need to necessarily do films.
We don't need to do movies.
No.
We've done movies.
Yes.
We've done the movies we cared about.
Yes.
We're done. We can move on.
Yes. We have 4 other stuff. There are 3 other topics we can...
4 other things.
Yes.
Sports? No, we're not doing sports. That's 2 on the nose.
Well, are you sure? All right.
We can't do a real March Madness. That's not our brand.
All right. But anyways,
we'll talk about that.
We will be... probably next week,
Probably.
Next week, we will have our own March Madness tournament bracket style, whatever list we're doing.
We'll figure that out.
Next week,
Yeah.
we'll give that more information.
Next
but we have more TV news to get to.
We do. Let's talk about television news proper. Our first story, everything in the 90s is coming back. So, yeah, here's a story about another thing from the 90s that is coming back.
So it's not a story about a man named Brady?
No, but it is a story about some kids who decided to put on a sketch show.
What, they think they're all that or something?
They do. Yes, all that. Nickelodeon's sketch show from the 90s is getting revived with an all-new cast because everybody knew this was going to happen.
Yep.
Kenan Thompson is back as executive producer. Good for him.
Hey!
Back at the show that birthed his talent. President of Nickelodeon Brian Robbins was a co-creator and executive producer of the original series, and he and Thompson have remained close ever since. The program would be, quote, a mashup of some of the old sketches and lots of new sketches. This is smart.
Yep.
I think because but here's my question though. What do they mean by a mashup of the old sketches? Are they literally going to re-air old sketches? Or is this saying they're going to have a new cast do the old sketches?
I say do the new cast, do the old sketches. You
Was
do a
that
Good
one
Burger
thing?
sketch.
Yeah.
You do Lori Beth Timbers.
You do
Weekly
the
Reports.
speaking French in the bathtub thing.
Yes, French in the bathtub.
You do the bits that everybody remembers.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do the bits because not only do you have kids watch this, but you have parents watching this
Parents watching
who
this.
have
Parents that grew up watching
Yes.
all that.
Hey, that's
Have
us.
kids now.
That's us. That's us. You see this kid here? That's us.
I know that's us. We don't have kids.
You do the P lady. Wow, these are all Kenan Thompson sketches. I'm just realizing.
They are. He
Yeah.
was kind of a big
He
part.
was kind of like a big thing there.
So yeah, this is a good idea. I think it's time.
Yeah.
For something like this. I think this is also how you launch a bunch of new comedy careers. I mean, this is what gave us Kenan Thompson. This could give us somebody who in 20 years' time could be enjoying his 5th season on SNL.
Well, not only did it give us Kenan Thompson, it also gave us Amanda Bynes.
Right? Well, yeah, but
Hey, she had the Amanda Show.
less successful, let's say.
In the later years, but at least it was successful.
Yeah, that's true.
She was a TV star, or movie star.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what happens. Let's move on. Our next story, like I said, is about the Academy Awards.
Yes.
But we're going to just briefly talk about some of the continuing drama surrounding them, because yet again, the Academy has doubled back on something that they said they were going to do.
So
Last week, we talked about how there were going to be cut categories that would be taking place during the commercial breaks. People didn't like that.
not just people like you and me,
Yeah.
but directors, cinematographers, actors.
The people
basically,
who are supposedly being honored by the telecast.
yeah, and not just those who were nominated, but people who were attending.
So they caved. They will now air
they caved.
all the awards on TV. They will not cut anything this time around. There's still no host, but as rumored, a rotating cast of celebrity presenters will be your hosts.
Well, we do have the list of people who will be presenting.
Yeah.
We have Chris Evans, Brie Larson. Sound familiar? They got something to promote.
They do have something to promote.
Aquafina, Daniel Craig, Tina Fey, Whoopi Goldberg, J-Lo, Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph. I assume they're a joint package.
I would assume.
Charlize Theron,
Okay.
Constance Wu, Javier Bardem, Chadwick Boseman, Samuel L. Jackson, Keegan-Michael Key, James McAvoy, Melissa McCarthy, Jason Momoa, Sarah Paulson, and Casey Musgraves.
I heard about Casey Musgraves. Yes, that's exciting.
Yes, and many more. Not Mandy Moore.
I was going to say, not anymore. She's had a rough week. We'll get there.
Yeah. But many, many more.
Many more.
Yes.
Well, okay. That's
So-
a pretty good lineup.
So they were able to wrangle stars to present, but...
Ringo Starr is going to present?
Oh, hopefully. But no host, because
So he's had a
Kevin
rough
Hart.
week, too. Anyways. Well, that's exciting. So yeah, like I said, stay tuned. After this podcast, It won't be... Actually, we could totally stream it live. Why not?
We can stream it live.
Yeah. After this podcast, stay tuned. And, we will stay on to talk about our Oscar predictions. So, keep your ears peeled for that later. But first, we have to talk about some television that you watched.
Okay, so we have some thoughts to get to.
So there's two things that you want to talk about.
Yes.
Both of them are Netflix releases.
Yes.
And I'm glad you watched these because I didn't know one of them had happened, and the other I have zero interest in watching. So,
okay.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
So first we're going to talk about the Valentine's Day special from Big Mouth.
So yeah, I noticed on Netflix that the little thing on Big Mouth said new episodes.
No.
And I was confused. I was like, there are new episodes? I didn't realize that. What it really means by that is there is a Netflix-mandated holiday special waiting for you.
Yes. It is the Valentine's Day holiday special.
Why do you think that Netflix makes all their shows do specials? Usually it's Christmas related, but in this case, it was a Valentine's Day. Why do you think that they have that?
Well, it not only promotes the show in an off-season, but it also gives fans of the show something in between seasons. Because they dump seasons, so you binge it.
Yeah.
It's not like something where you can slow burn a TV show that on the cable where you're waiting week after week after week. No, this is just, I'm going to watch this over the weekend and then I'm going to be done with it. But that's why they have this.
I guess. I'm still curious. I don't know. Anyways. So yeah, Big Mouth.
Okay. So anyways, this is broken up into 3 separate parts, or 3 chapters, you could say. It's got the Big Mouth favorites. It's a musical.
Uh-huh.
It's comedy.
Yeah.
But there is definitely something missing. Something did not really grab me while I was watching it. Where I was like invested. Maybe because I knew this was a holiday special.
Yeah, it was
because
a one-off
I know
and
this is
nothing...
a one-off and nothing really matters in it.
Yeah. It's kind of how I feel.
But yeah, a lot of the jokes were hit and miss. A lot of them were over the top and then not at all. They were not advancing any type of plot, any type of anything. This is definitely a one-off thing that's definitely a special that not really sure if I'm glad I watched it or not because it doesn't really help anything.
Unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't need to watch this?
No.
Yeah, I'll skip it.
Yeah. Even as a fan of Big Mouth, I didn't really enjoy watching it. It felt like this is something that they had to put out, like you said.
Right.
Which is
Netflix mandated this.
Which is phrasing in that type of universe.
I guess it would be. Yeah, I had to. But that's not the only thing you watched.
No. So
that's
I
an
watched.
Unfortunate last name.
So I also continued to watch Russian Doll.
Yeah. Did you finish that?
No, because the following episode that I stopped at was that bump that I hit that I was talking about, where this doesn't need to be this long. I hit that on the following episode and I stopped watching it.
You're just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, there's 2 more episodes left. I'll finish it, but at that 2-hour mark, I hit it. I hit that bump that I knew I was going to hit, which is, why is this still a thing? Why am I still... I'm no longer invested in the characters. I kind of want to get to the resolution now, which is what should have been a movie, a 2.5 hour movie. And I hit that at the 2-hour mark. I knew that was going to happen.
Sure enough.
And I'm just sitting there through that episode thinking, I kind of want to just get to the solution now. I don't need any more information from you guys. I don't need any more investment. Just tell me how it ends.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
But you did watch something else.
Yes, I did watch something else. Something that I should have been watching over the weekend, but Daytona happened. Oh, that also happened.
Daytona?
Yeah.
You didn't talk about that in sports.
I didn't need to. It's not really a sport.
Daytona happened.
Hey! I talked about it last week.
You said it, not me.
I talked about it last week, though.
Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona happened, but watched that. And then I decided to turn on Netflix and watch The Umbrella Academy.
All right. So, I know a lot of people are invested in this. What do you think?
I am kind of invested in this.
Kind of.
Yes. I am 3 episodes in. The premise is the world's going to end.
Mm.
But this is also based off comic books, so the world's always going to end.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
Yes. The Umbrella Academy, based off the the Dark Horse comic book of the same name. This is about mysterious births that happen.
I do want to say real briefly, notably co-created by none other than Gerard Way, former lead of My Chemical Romance. Did you know that?
No, but that definitely explains the music choices.
Fun fact. In his latter days, he has worked on comic books.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Well,
I don't know if that colors your opinion or not, but yeah.
No, not really.
Yes.
But anyways, the plot.
Yes.
So, so there's like these mysterious births that happen around the world, and this eccentric billionaire in the universe gathers up 7 of those kids, and raises them to be superheroes. But one goes missing, and so they kind of all drift apart until the kid comes back as a kid, and they all come back together. And the kid informs them, "I've been to the future. The world will end in 8 days. We must save it." Thus begins the Umbrella Academy.
Mm-hmm.
So that
like
hook is interesting.
Do you like it?
I kind of like it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the powers. I like the dynamics between each of the characters. I like that it's a family-esque hodgepodge of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, the one character I don't really like is Ellen Page, and she's the lead.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Partly because she doesn't have a power, although I'm assuming she will definitely get a power, as is comic book related.
Sure.
But the hook is interesting. The characters are interesting. The family dynamic is interesting. And the powers are all different and interesting. So it's got a lot going for it. It's got a lot to keep me hooked. And I'm excited to see where the universe goes.
Okay. Cool. Did you, how much of this did you watch?
About 3 episodes.
3 episodes? Okay.
Yeah.
And there's probably like the Netflix mandated 10?
This one is 10 episodes,
Okay.
yes. Side note, possible spoiler.
Okay.
The butler in this thing possibly did it.
Sorry.
No, you're not
I'm not wrong?
No,
Okay.
but is an interesting character. So much so, I'm not sure if I like him or not.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil who plays him.
I don't know.
Because, 1, that's a big spoiler. But 2, it's definitely a weird choice. It's definitely a super comic book thing. But, setting all the plot aside, the thing that hooks me on the show is the action sequences.
Okay.
Remember how when we watched Daredevil and we saw the hallway fight, I thought, yes, this is great.
That was cool.
That was cool. Well, this is like double that.
Okay.
Each fight is basically a music video.
That's cool.
Set to a pop song. And just so much action and quick cuts and to the beat. And it's fantastic. The fighting in this is fantastic. The choreography is great. I want this thing to win awards for the choreography.
Okay. It probably won't, but it
Probably
maybe.
won't. It probably won't. But there's enough action sequences between each episode to get through the mundane. We have to talk about exposition here.
Yeah.
And then we get into fight scenes, and it's like awesome and great. And then get to more exposition, but there's enough in between to keep it going. And I like it. I'm enjoying it. I look forward to watching more of this.
Cool.
This looks like a surefire hit series for Netflix, considering that they've gotten rid of
All their
Marvel
stuff, which we'll get to. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, the music of this thing is like, it's great. The pacing, the music choice. So when you said Chemical Romance,
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. These are all like pop, rock, hard hitting songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very cool. So you're gonna stick with us, and you'll report back when you finish.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish this.
Okay.
One of the people we went to film school with is stars in this.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Diego, number 2. Sibling number 2. You don't know.
Yeah,
So you don't know because you weren't in any of the production classes.
Oh yeah, he was
but
a
I
production
took
dude.
like 4 production classes with him.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Yeah, we're friends
Counselor
up.
Fullerton over here.
yeah, we're Facebook friends.
All right. Cool.
That's cool.
Let's move on. So
That's actually why I originally watched it,
Got
because he was
it.
in it,
Well,
not
that
because
connection.
Ellen Page,
not because
but
you had any sort of investment.
just him.
Okay.
But I invested in everything else now.
All right.
It's
Cool.
great.
So you'll report back later on that, but let's move on to cancellations and renewals.
Okay.
We have a lot to get through in cancellations and renewals, and even two that you didn't mention that we just mentioned, so we should probably talk about
Well,
it.
that's why I mentioned it right now.
Netflix has axed the last 2 Marvel shows on their repertoire. Officially. So that's Jessica Jones and
The Punisher.
The Punisher. They're both
Yes.
done. That means all of them are canceled.
Yeah, season 3 of Jessica Jones will still premiere, but that's it. That's all you're getting. That's all we're getting.
That's it. So yeah, this is obviously, like we keep saying, a move to bring over all Marvel properties to the future upcoming Disney Plus.
Yes, which still does not have a release date.
No.
Just sometime later this year.
Which is weird, because I thought for sure it would have hit already, but maybe they're waiting until summer?
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Well, I think they're going to wait definitely till after Avengers Endgame.
Maybe.
And then be like, oh, or what they'll do is at the April 1st, they'll say, oh, you want to catch up on all the Avengers?
It's like,
Here you go. Here's everything. You got a month.
Maybe.
That wouldn't be a bad ploy.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We'll see. Moving on.
Don't take my idea. Or do. Just pay me.
Cancellations and renewals.
Yes.
Let's go through the rest of them besides Netflix. Although there are some Netflix stuff happening later. The Sun on AMC. Canceled. But it will end after its currently scheduled 2nd season.
Yep. That's done. The Sun is done.
The Sun is done. The Sun went down. Into the Badlands on AMC. Also canceled after its 3rd season.
Woo!
Project Blue Book on History will get a 2nd season. Running Wild with Bear Grylls will get a 5th season on Nat Geo.
Yes, formerly on NBC, but has currently moved to Nat Geo.
Counterpart.
Or National Geographic, however you want to say
Nat
it.
Geo, that's what we call it.
Yes.
Counterpart. Canceled after 2 seasons on Stars. The other 2 will get renewed for a 2nd season on Comedy Central. I've actually heard good things about this show.
Yes, this is the show currently airing after Broad City.
Right, yeah.
I see the commercials for it. I like the premise. It seems interesting. I just haven't watched it yet.
Again, Comedy Central. I would watch your stuff if I had access to it. If you didn't break with every single streaming service that I've ever run.
Don't yell at Comedy Central
Just
for
saying.
Viacom's mistakes.
I know. Last call
We
with
like
Carson
Comedy
Daly.
Central.
After 17 seasons of Carson Daly booking really good musical acts and having really interesting guests, it has been canceled by NBC.
So the best comment I saw on this was Carson Daly canceled after executives find out he still has a show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson Daly was doing a show after, 1, they took a studio away from him. 2, after they took an outdoor studio away from him. And 3, basically when he was just doing the show at bars. Like, Carson Daly had gotten to the point where he was just doing Last Call pretty much wherever people would have him.
Well, you do realize this was airing at like 2 o'clock in the morning?
It always has.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. It's like, yeah,
It's 2 o'clock in the morning for an hour.
he just kept doing it. Why not?
I mean, it's programming. Somehow he got it going for 17 years.
But yeah, this is interesting to me also because this is the 2nd job that he's now officially done with. He also is done. I had heard that he was done with radio as well.
Yes.
So he's done with radio. He's done with late night. What's next for Carson Daly? I don't know.
Internet radio.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, good for him. 17 seasons. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan on Prime Video will get a 3rd season.
Ahead of its season 2 debut later this year.
American Ninja Warrior will get an 8th season on NBC. Keeps chugging along.
I mean, it's cheap to produce and people watch it.
As previously reported on the Media Boat podcast, USA is bringing back Psych for not 1 but 2 TV movies.
Yep.
Yeah, well, remember when we talked about that a while ago? Well, that's now official.
that first movie was a surprise hit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely programming. People like Psych.
People like Psych. Alexa and Katie. I'm glad we don't have an Alexa in here because you would think I was talking to it. It gets a 3rd season on Netflix. Carmen Sandiego, the animated series, will also get a 2nd season on Netflix.
That's something I should probably check out.
At some point. I don't know. Friends from College. Canceled after 2 seasons on Netflix, according to the Twitter of one of the creatives behind it.
Mm-hmm.
This was their choice, not Netflix's.
Okay.
They wanted to end it. It's done.
It's done.
They chose not to bring it forward. And lastly, The Man in the High Castle. Canceled after 4 seasons on Prime Video. But I'm pretty sure in that case, it'd probably run its course. It's based on
a book.
Specific book, and it probably was like, yeah, we did it. We did our thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were done with the book after season 2.
So yeah, they probably were like, yeah, this is done. Let's just end this.
We're just retreading the same thing here. We don't need to.
That's it. We have no deaths, so that means we get to move on to music.
Okay, so we get on to music and the death of the Billboard.
Well, not really. It's still alive.
Okay, yes, the Billboard is still alive. The top 3 are dead to me. As your Hot 100 singles chart.
Yes, your singles chart is dominated this week by one person.
Yes, your favorite Starbucks order, Ariana Grande.
It is. It is my favorite Starbucks.
Yes.
Don't actually go to a Starbucks and order an Ariana Grande. They will not know what you're talking about.
Instead, go to a Taco Bell and order an Ariana Grande.
And they will also not know what you're talking about. But we do know what Ariana Grande is talking about because she has not only taken number 1, she's taken number 2 and number 3. What are those songs?
In descending order.
Yes.
7 Rings is your number 1 song.
For the 4th week in a row.
Yes, but Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, is your number 2 song.
Yes, it is. Inexplicably.
And if that wasn't, so straightforward, number 3 is Thank You, Next.
Still there. Coming up from number 7 last week.
Yep. Number 4 is, by the way, side note here, this is the first time since the Beatles that any artist has had the top 3 spots on the Billboard 100.
Also notable, she broke another record by doing this. She broke a record about an individual artist having more than 10 singles in the top Hot 100 or something. She has 11 this week, which breaks the previous record.
Wasn't that Drake's?
I believe Drake was the previous record holder. Yes, I think you're correct.
Yeah, because we talked about that last year with Scorpion or before that, Views from the Six. Yeah.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So that is broken.
Okay.
Ariana now owns that.
Or did Post Malone break it?
No, it wasn't Post Malone.
Okay, with his album, because apparently everyone streamed that. I don't know.
Apparently.
Back to the Billboard Hot 100.
Yes.
Number 4, Without Me by Halsey, and 5, Sunflower, Post Malone and Sway Lee.
Yep. So those hanger-ons, but mostly it's Ariana Grande's weekend.
It's an Ariana Grande weekend.
Yep. It's true.
It's what it is. But for your Billboard 200, your albums chart, Thank You, Next is your number 1 album. And a shocker.
I know.
That is a shocker.
Also broke the record for one-day streams. That was the one that was previously held by Post Malone.
Okay. I know I saw something about that.
That was what that was. One-day streams on streaming services. The current record holder now is Ariana.
All right. Your number 2 and 3 are your Oscar bumps.
Yeah.
Number 2 is A Star Is Born by Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, and various artists. And number 3 is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
The soundtrack.
It was shooting up from the 50s or something down the chart into the top 5. Probably because of a handful of things. 1, yes, Oscar buzz. 2, not so great. Probably for some not so great reasons about the Bryan Singer stuff.
I will say Bryan Singer had a hand in this. Or a foot, or whatever body part he's throwing on it.
Let's not do that. Let's not go there.
Alright.
But yeah, there's other stuff on here.
Yes. Number 4 is Hoodie Season.
Yep.
With A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Yep, still there.
And number 5, your favorite, Beer Bongs and Bentleys, Post Malone.
I did note one more, though, in the top 10 that we kind of called last week.
Cracking the top 10 with the Album of the Year
Bump.
award bump.
Yep.
Bump. Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves.
Number 9.
Yes. The radio at work, they constantly play Rainbow.
Good.
And they constantly, in the ads, say, hot from the Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Casey Musgraves with Golden Hour. So here's Rainbow.
Okay, I want to say this briefly before we move on to music news. It's hard for me to grapple with the Grammys because it feel like sometimes they matter and sometimes they don't. This is one of the rare times where I'm like, actually, they totally matter in this case because they're helping Casey finally get radio play.
Yeah.
She had been shut out of radio play before this. I had only heard music off of Golden Hour in shopping centers.
Oh, in Starbucks. They play that thing all the time.
And
Target,
your malls.
Your malls.
And that's it though. I didn't hear it in your radio station, especially not the pop stations.
Right.
It took a Grammy for Album of the Year for people to start playing Rainbow.
Yeah. Which isn't even the best song on that thing.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's an unlikely pick for radio.
It is.
And it surprised me that this is what is finally getting her radio play.
I know.
But I'm all for it. Absolutely. More people need to hear that song. People need to hear this record.
Rainbow is a nice song.
It's a ballad.
It's a ballad. But like you said, there are other hits on that album that have gotten radio play.
But not as much.
But not as much as it should.
Yeah.
And specifically country radio play.
Yeah, country radio still continues to largely ignore Casey Musgraves, which is unfortunate. But we'll see.
Well, when you got hits like Florida Georgia Line, do you need...
Yes, you do.
Casey
you
Musgraves?
need Casey Musgraves. Anyways.
I'll talk about Florida Georgia Line in a bit here.
Oh, no. I was fearing this. All right.
But we have some news to get to first.
We have some music news, and it's kind of not a great week for music news.
So, speaking... before we get to music news... We have some new releases.
We do have new releases. What am I going to be listening to this week?
I know what you're going to be listening to, but here's the new releases.
All right.
We have Dream Theater with Distance Over Time equals My Life, I guess?
What?
It's just Distance Over Time.
Okay.
But that's that's like a math equation.
It does sound like
Distance over time equals...
I forget.
I don't know. That's why I said My Life. I forget what the answer is, but... we have also Gary Clark Jr. with This Land, and That Land, and Your Land, and Her Land. It's just This Land. We also have Kelani with While We Wait. We have Telekinesis with Effusion. Effusion? Efflusion? Is that an L? Effluxion?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And lastly, we have Lil Pump. Yeah, that's right. Lil Pump with Harvard Dropout. I assume that's how it's spelled.
Wait.
Harvard with an E.
I'm sorry. Who made this album?
Lil Pump. Lil Pump.
Lil Pump?
Lil Pump.
Yes, Lil Pump.
Lil Pump.
Yeah. Yes, Lil Pump.
Yes.
With...
Like I said, Lil Pump.
Harvard. Dropout.
Harvard. There's an E where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And Google is telling me this is spelt wrong, which I know it is.
Alright, those are your new releases this week.
Yes.
Music news.
Music news. So we mentioned Queen got the bump, the album bump for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
Well, they're not done. As Queen, yes, the surviving members of Queen,
right,
will perform at the Academy Awards on Sunday for 90 seconds.
Yes, probably.
At least they will be broadcast for 90 seconds, because I believe that rule is still in effect.
I think so.
They're not going to show all the songs. That's the one thing I saw that they didn't neg on. They said that, instead of just the 2 songs, that they're going to have everyone sing, but it's only for 90 seconds.
Right.
I have not seen them take the 90 seconds back yet.
As far as I know, no. But we could be wrong.
Right. Anyways,
wrong.
Yes. Anyways, this move which is not by a surprise, comes in the wake of a blockbuster success of Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, that biopic about the band and its late singer, Freddie Mercury.
Oh, you mean the biopic?
Yes, the biopic. But apparently Queen is going to be joined by Adam Lambert.
Yeah, as they have been
in touring.
Yeah.
This means that Rami Malek will not be singing.
No, and I don't expect him to. That is not a movie where he was singing to tape. That was a movie where he was definitely in the studio recording that.
Oh, yeah. But
no.
Adam Lambert made it to the Oscars. Or Queen made it to the Academy Awards. However you want to look at it.
However you want to look at this. I'm sure some people are excited about this, but this is just a testament to how slow of a music week this was. Because this was all I could find. I was like, fine. Whatever, this fits.
Yes. Lady Gaga will be performing with or without Bradley Cooper. Unsure.
Yeah, unsure.
At this point.
We'll see.
I assume he'll get on stage and do it.
I assume that they'll do it.
Because why not? They're both going to be there.
Yeah.
It's not like he's off
he has to be there.
Well, yeah, he's like director nominated.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, yeah. I expect them to be there. But we have like the legit music news of the week.
Yeah, unfortunately the big news this week was a downer, so let's get through it.
So, Ryan Adams.
Not Bryan Adams.
Yes. Not that Adams. Singer, songwriter. Accused sexual misconduct person?
Yeah.
Well, he's been accused of that and some manipulative behavior.
Right.
This is according to a New York Times article published last Wednesday.
Yes.
We didn't cover it last week because
it was happening pretty much as we were podcasting.
Yeah, that is correct.
Like, I saw the news the next morning.
Yep. Anyways, 7. That's right. Count them. 7 women and probably more than a dozen associates, quote, described a pattern of manipulative behavior in which Adams dangled career opportunities. This is him dangling it. Does not play over podcast,
no,
but definitely plays on our YouTube channel. Dangling opportunities while simultaneously pursuing female artists for sex. The article claims that in some cases, they said he would turn domineering and vengeful, jerking away his offers of support when spurned and subjecting women to emotional and verbal abuse and harassments in texts on social media.
Yeah. So he's been accused of all the above. The worst of the accusations was in one situation. They said that he was texting sexually with a underage girl.
That's the one I saw.
That specifically is being investigated right now by the FBI.
Yes.
Other than that, though, there's been other fallout here. His record label has decided that they will no longer release his upcoming album, which he was in the middle of doing PR for just a week ago. He was releasing singles to music blogs. That thing was gonna happen, and now it just isn't. That doesn't mean that he can't self-release. That doesn't mean that he can't get another label to release it. It just means that his label, the current contract he has right now, is giving him the boot.
Well, even if he does get it out, then you gotta get people to, 1, listen to it, and 2, play it on the radio or somewhere.
That's the other thing. Radio stations have also started dropping him from their lineups. Probably mostly your college radio stations, as I don't think Right As material is being played in any major stations these days.
No, but I do suggest that Bryan Adams will unfortunately also be
collateral damage here.
Yes,
because people are going to be like, "No, Bryan Adams is still fine." At least I think he's fine. I actually don't know. It is also important to note here a couple of other things. His ex-wife, Mandy Moore. Yes, that Mandy Moore.
Here's where we get back down to that Mandy Moore.
Was one of the women who spoke out, and she kind of describes in the piece, in the Times piece, how it wasn't a great marriage after all, and that she has a lot of regrets about that whole situation. Also, artist Phoebe Bridgers, who I'm a big fan of, who we talked about just a couple weeks ago with the Better Oblivion Community Center record. She spoke out as well about her interactions with him, and how basically he was trying to coerce her into similar things to other people. And there's another story about a woman, I forget her name unfortunately, who was in conversations with him and basically has now abandoned the music industry completely due to the effect that it had on her. So yeah, it's a good thing that he's getting his comeuppance. Apparently a lot of people, this was one of those similar to the Weinstein case,
Where
open secrets.
People knew this.
People knew, just nobody wanted to say anything because of how much power Ryan had in the industry, specifically producing wise. So you didn't note this when you set him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a very powerful producer. He's produced a lot of records for other artists in the last about the last decade, I would say. Most notably, former Rilo Kiley frontwoman Ginny Lewis had worked with Ryan in the last 2 records in her career. Okay. She even put out a Ryan Adams produced single just 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And so she had to come out and basically be like, yes, we had a professional relationship. I will no longer be working with Ryan, and I believe the women. And so she was smart to put that out. Well, since then, a lot of other artists that have worked directly with Ryan the last couple of years have also come out to denounce him. Yeah, it's about time. Like I said, it was an open secret. Everybody knew that he was kind of a scumbag. I read a book. That book, the
Girl in a Band?
No, Meet Me in the Bathroom. The book that's about the 2000s indie rock scene.
Okay.
That has a lot of quotes from Ryan Adams. It's an oral history. It also has a lot of quotes from people about Ryan Adams and how big of a scumbag he was even back in the 2000s. How he allegedly got people addicted to heroin. Was basically a bad influence all around.
So, like you said, open secret.
It was open secret. Everybody kind of knew he was a scumbag, but he had just enough power, because that's how these things work, unfortunately, in these industries, that he kept on being able to do what he does. Yep.
You know, if you make hits, people overlook stuff.
People are willing to overlook things, but not anymore.
For money.
So yeah, hopefully this means that other similar trash bags get ousted too.
All right. Well, speaking of trash bags,
yes,
we have some thoughts.
We do have some thoughts, and there are definitely some trash bags to talk about here. So we both listened to something. I listened to 2 things.
I listened to 2 things too. We actually have a crossover.
Oh boy.
Take a guess which one it was.
I don't know actually which one you listened to. But
okay, so we're going to start with you. Because
I have catch up to do.
Yes, this is an album that's been just hanging there that you said I'm going to listen to. I'm going to listen to.
Yeah, okay.
And we finally got to it.
And you know what? I probably could have gotten away with just lying and said that I had listened to this thing because this was exactly what I thought it would be.
All right. So, of course, we're talking about Dinah.
So DNA is the new Backstreet Boys record. I would call it a comeback, but it's not because they've been putting out music pretty consistently since, 2015?
Yeah.
When they went on that comeback tour with the New Kids on the Block?
Yeah, the We're Not Dead.
Yeah, We're Still Alive.
Or whatever that album was called.
But yeah, Backstreet Boys.
Or We're Still Here, that's right.
I'm going to surprise no one by saying this, but it sounds like the Backstreet Boys.
I am shocked.
But it sounds like the Backstreet Boys in 2019. In fact, I was kind of surprised that how well actually Backstreet Boys style music still can hang. That kind of pop is coming back. And I think that the fact that they can still go and tour and still people still care about them, that's very telling. That I think it's partially because that sound kind of didn't go away.
Okay.
There are songs on this album that sound like classic Backstreet Boys tracks that could have come out in 2002. There are also songs that fit in with the kind of style that you're hearing on modern pop radio. The fact that they can be chameleons like that and do both is pretty impressive, I think. And it wasn't a bad time. It was fine. I think this is a pretty middle of the road, maybe a little slightly above the average pop record. If you like the sound of those guys' voices, here it is, again. And it's just how they used to sound. The Backstreet Boys didn't go away. And this is proof. They were kept doing this thing. Unlike NSYNC, they are not just captured in time. They are a continuing act. And this shows off their strengths. I think this was fine. And if this sounds interesting to you, and if you like Backstreet Boys, if you ever have, especially if you liked them back in the day, check this out.
Okay.
They've aged well, I guess I could say.
Like a fine boy band.
Sure. It's like a fine boy band. So yeah, it's exactly what you think it is, and it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Now, because they're no longer the boys...
Right.
Well, they are the
They're a
Backstreet
man
Boys.
band.
Yeah, so do we call them Backstreet Men now?
No, they're still boys.
Okay. That wasn't what I was going to ask, but it just sounded really cool.
So yeah, it's fine. I don't know. It was only number 1 because it was a slow week.
Okay.
So I don't really have a whole lot to say about it.
All right. Well, my one question is, should they be making music like the kids today, even though they're like 20, 30 years older than them?
They do it in ways that don't sound patronizing. They don't sound like they're making music because they're chasing trends. It sounds like they're making stuff and incorporating their strengths into some modern sounds.
Okay.
It's almost as if they got producers that wanted to work with them and not, like, put them in a position that they didn't want to be in. The whole time they sound like the Backstreet Boys. In no way does any of it sound forced. I'm specifically saying these words because we are going to talk about a record by somebody who hasn't been in the limelight for a while, that used to have a pop career, where it definitely does sound forced.
But before we get to that...
you got to talk about Florida Georgia Line.
I'm going to talk about some Florida Georgia Line.
All right, tell me about the barrier between two states.
Okay, so just north of Florida is a state called Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And that
What's between the
state,
two of them?
Well, between them, there's this line.
Yeah, what's it called?
Well, it's called Can't Say Ain't Country.
Okay. It's a terrible name.
It is. But...
So the Florida Georgia Line, can they say they're not country? They can't.
Well, they can.
Okay.
So, Florida Georgia Line is weird.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Okay. So, yes, they're in the country genre, but their biggest hit is that BB Rexa song.
Yeah, which is basically a pop song.
It's a pop song. So, they're kind of towing this line
of Florida
and Georgia, of country and pop, of good and bad.
Is Florida pop because it's got Pitbull in it? Like, I guess. Wait, was that the plan the whole time? Were they trying to be a pop crossover thing, and is that why they're called that? I don't know.
Mind blown.
I don't know. It blew my own mind.
Conspiracy theory. Anyways.
So how is Can't Say I Ain't Country?
The first single off this album is called Simple. Simple. It's as simple as can be.
Okay.
That
already sounds terrible.
Well, that's actually a line in this song.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That sounds terrible.
Yes. Well, this whole the first chunk of this album is pretty much that. They took the BB Rexa biggest hit and basically doubled down on that kind of sound.
And you figured they would.
I figured they would. And then I heard Simple. I was like, okay, this is catchy. But the rest of the album is pretty much a variation of that. And nothing really new, nothing really exciting. It sounds like a lot of singer-songwriter, not like the big band that they kind of are, I want to say. Especially since I saw them last year at Stagecoach.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I'm going off of here as my barometer of the line between Florida and Georgia. That I saw them in concert, and that concert was excellent. Like, I expected nothing from them and got totally blown away by their sound.
Yeah.
Because they have hits. But then I realized that these hits come out of tons of albums and not specifically like... We made this record album with 5 hits.
They are a singles group. They are not an album group.
Oh, yes. And you can tell by this album and by all their other albums that they definitely can make singles and not really an entire album. That's about it. But I would like to note one song on here that I thought was hilariously and great. It's called Colorado.
Okay.
It's about getting Rocky Mountain High.
Okay.
After a breakup. And it was just hilarious to listen to. And I hope... This thing will definitely not get radio play because it's content. But if you're looking for a fun song to listen to, that's it out of this album.
I can immediately think of one person who will absolutely enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Nick Foles.
Yep. Especially since he's going to Denver. Wait, no, I'm sorry. No.
Like how you immediately know what I mean when I say Nick Foles.
Yes.
I don't actually know Nick Foles. I don't want it to sound like I know football quarterback Nick Foles.
Well, no, I expected Nick Foles to actually go to Denver before they signed Joe Flacco.
Oh, but here we are.
But here we are. But yeah.
Alright, it's sports.
Okay,
so do you have anything else to say about Florida Georgia Line?
You can pass on this album.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anybody needs this.
No, like I said, Florida Georgia Line is a singles machine.
They are.
But not necessarily an album.
Alright. Okay, it's time.
Alright. So, here, let me hold you down.
Alright.
While you try and talk about Head Above Water.
So, Avril Lavigne.
Oh, yes. I remember Avril Lavigne. She was the punk princess, right?
She was a skater girl.
Yes, and I said see you later until she came back. Because she wanted my girlfriend. Or she said she could be my girlfriend.
You.
Yeah, she could be my girlfriend.
She could be your girlfriend. Well, those times are over.
Oh, I know.
Because Avril Lavigne is in the part of her career where she's trying to make a capital I important album. She's trying to prove to everybody that she can be a quote-unquote real artist. Which I'm pretty sure she was originally, and she has nothing to prove here. But she did have kind of a life-altering, few years there where she came back changed. And no, I'm not referencing the internet conspiracy theory where she is dead and someone has taken her place.
You're talking about the I Married Nickelback lead singer,
and I'm not
Chad
talking
Kroeger.
about the Chad Kroeger stuff.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about she was literally diagnosed with Lyme disease and basically had to figure out her life.
Right.
So she kind of took stock, and she says, this was her words, that her voice got stronger in the meantime, and that she had to go back to recording music.
Now, this is when she put out this single, Head Above Water. And we covered this. We talked about this when it came out.
This is a lot of... I said too much sauce, Avril.
Yes, but it was definitely interesting enough for me to actually want to listen to this album.
But here's the catch. The whole thing is like that.
And you can't do that.
It's...
You're not Adele.
I think the word I used when I was texting someone after I listened to it, I think I texted someone saying that I was baffled. I am baffled by this. I was confused by what she's trying to do here. This is basically just Avril Lavigne trying to out-sing herself with every single song. Which
is funny, because I was waiting for her to jump back into the punk thing.
No, it's very not that.
Well, no, she did for one song.
Right. But barely, though.
Featuring Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
but
you can count that. I thought that sounded more like a solo career Gwen Stefani than it did classic Avril Lavigne.
That sounded to me like we're going to remake Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
And this is the opening song for it.
So the whole thing... So when I was listening to this thing, I imagined it on a scale from Kesha to Kelly Clarkson.
That's not bad.
What I mean currently.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is when Kesha put out Rainbow, her most recent album.
Yes, not to be confused with Casey Musgrave's single Rainbow.
She was in a similar place that Avril is in right now. She wanted to put out something that was a statement, that is her taking ownership of her image and being like, this is who I am now. Avril's trying to do that, but it doesn't quite reach the level of quality that Kesha got to in that album. On the other side, Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is on the other end because she is also trying to reshape her image, but she knows very much that she is also a mom and that she has now graduated to a certain part of radio that's not necessarily getting pop play. She is no longer trying to play for the pop radio stations.
The top 40.
She's no longer trying to do that. She has found her niche in making kind of more balladry, more mature music.
And we noted this when we listened and covered her album.
So, Avril's problem is that she doesn't know exactly where she wants to be in that scale. She doesn't know how... She gets very, very close to the Kelly Clarkson sound here. There are a lot of ballads on this album. Mm-hmm. For the first half of the record, I thought it was all ballads. I got to the point where I was like, is this whole thing just Avril Lavigne singing love songs? What is this? And then, but she doesn't, like I said, she doesn't quite nail the I'm having fun with this thing that Kesha did so effortlessly on Rainbow. It's somewhere floating in the middle, and I don't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I was confused by it because, like I mentioned, Avril Lavigne to me is the punk princess.
Yeah, and she's not.
And
that
this
yet.
is not that. This is none of that. This is her ballading. This is her going on long runs, going on the hook, going on these unnecessarily straining vocals,
which
that at times, I will say at times, they sound good.
Yes, she has a good voice. If this proves anything, it proves that her voice has improved and that she can do these songs. The problem is that the songs are not good enough to make that matter, and thus it means nothing.
The songs themselves are not tailored to Avril Lavigne.
And they're not good. They're just not good. I don't remember a single one of them except for the Nicki Minaj one because it's so stupid.
It is.
That's the thing, is like, that is not a good song, and that's why I remembered it. It's just, the rest is forgettable. I just don't understand what she's going for.
Maybe Canada will like it.
Yeah, we're not Canadian, who knows? I mean, I love you, Avril, but I just want to hear I'm With You over and over again. That's all I want to listen to, because the rest of this is unnecessary. Maybe complicated.
All right. Well, it doesn't have to get too complicated.
Why? Hey, yeah, Avril, that's a good question for you. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Yeah, I know. I see the way you're going and acting like this. But
got you frustrated.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
Oh no.
Yes, we are done with music thoughts. But we're not done with the podcast.
Oh no, we have some video games to talk about now.
We have video games to talk about. What's new this week?
So, your new releases for upcoming video games. We have Anno 1800 for the PC.
That's a strategy game.
Dirt Rally 2.0.
That's a racing game.
For the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. We have The Lego Movie 2.
Yes,
video
finally.
game.
I thought this was weird that this didn't come out in time with the movie. It's a week too late for some reason, but here it is.
For the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Yep. This is your tie-in game.
I do want to note that Switch is not on here. It is getting a Switch version, but not until March 26th.
Because reasons.
Because people seem to, for some reason, delay Switch games a month after. I don't know why they do that. It just happens all the time.
It's not that hard to port, is it?
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I thought they'd like do it at the same time.
It's got to be a marketing thing. I
think so. We also have Outward for the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And Trials Rising for the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Yep.
But none of that compares to the game being released this week.
Yep. Yeah.
So, if you thought Apex was the game everyone was playing, move out of the way.
Well,
for now.
Yeah, we'll see.
As Anthem, the long-awaited Anthem, will be gracing store shelves and your teenager's computer, video game, console, TV.
Or will it? And I say that because the word of mouth on this thing has been terrible. Nobody liked the beta. People got pissed at EA about the weird, when things were, when people got to play it thing. You had to look at a flowchart to find out what tier of, price got you to play it early and which one where you had to wait. And people that now are actually have their hands on the full game are also not liking it. It's looking bad.
But it's been promoted.
Yeah, it got promoted off the wazoo. It looked good at E3. I even said when we did our E3 podcast that I thought it looked really awesome.
Yeah. But this is, of course, EA we're talking about here.
EA somehow managed to, in 1 week, somehow spoil all the goodwill that they had with Apex Legends, and now people are already against them again.
Well, what a week it was.
What a week.
But what a week.
But yeah, our early word about Anthem is that it's kind of trash, but we'll find out.
I will Redbox that if I can, because I am not going to buy that.
I'm not going to spend any money on that either.
Yeah. But anyways, it comes out for the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Alright, but we have actual news to get to. Before we have
a couple
thoughts.
of video game news stories.
And then we have some thoughts.
We do have some thoughts. We have a couple of big ones.
Alright, so, first up, Fortnite, or more specifically, the Carlton dance. Yes, that dance.
This is yet another update on the ongoing dance battle.
Yep. So, the dance creator, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Well, with an asterisk. We did mention this before, but technically he didn't create the dance.
Yes.
We don't know that for sure. It could have been the creation of somebody on staff at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, he's been denied a copyright for the Carlton dance.
Yeah.
Which, as we've mentioned plenty of time, is a focus of the Fortnite lawsuit.
Yes.
Against developer Epic Games and NBA 2K16 publisher Take-Two Interactive,
where his dance also appears.
Yep. The denial from the U.S. Copyright Office was revealed last week in a motion to dismiss Ribeiro's lawsuit against the two companies. The document stated that the three moves that make up the Carlton dance are a simple dance routine and not a piece of choreography. So they're not protected under copyright law.
So yeah, this further proves what we kind of already discussed about this, which was you can't copyright a dance move.
Nope.
You can't do it. People have tried. You can't do it. You can copyright entire works of choreography because that is different. But
right.
Individual dance moves, in the way that Carlton is trying to prove here, cannot be copyrighted.
And this does not bode well for Backpack Kid either.
No, it doesn't.
Because that is an even simpler move.
His case is probably even harder to prove.
Yep.
So yeah, no, there's not much to talk about here. It's just
they lost.
It's just further proof that this is not going anywhere.
Nope. I mean, we'll try again in 10 years.
Yeah.
Or something.
This will be relitigated at some point.
Oh, it definitely will be. It's not. This is not the end of dances in video games.
No.
It's just the end of this period for it. Speaking of this period...
But the biggest video game news actually happened before we podcasted last week. I just did not have time to actually record it.
Yes.
So here it is.
So, last week we briefly mentioned Nintendo had a Direct, and that... what were we talking
Still
about?
is true.
It still is true. Oh yeah, the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening was the big thing to come out of it.
It was.
But that wasn't the only thing to come out of it.
So real quickly, since we're on it, let's explain what that is.
Yes.
It's a remake of Link's Awakening, which was originally a Game Boy game.
Yes.
Circa 1993-ish, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is getting a Switch remake. It will be fully 3D, but in a art style that represents, I guess, portions of the original game's camera mode. Okay. So the Game Boy, you could use the Game Boy camera with the DX, which was the Game Boy Color re-release of Link's Awakening, and you could take pictures, like Link, essentially before it was a selfie, could take selfies. And yeah, that art style, they're trying to replicate that look in 3D, and so it kind of has this plasticine kind of toy-like look. Okay. So that's coming out later this year.
All right. Link's Awakening is one of the few Legend of Zelda games I have played.
You have played Link's Awakening? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I emulated it, but...
Shh, I won't tell anybody.
Okay. Yes, but I don't want Nintendo to come down suing me for it.
They won't sue you. You're fine.
All right. Anyways, Nintendo Direct, as we were talking about.
Other stuff happened.
Other stuff got announced.
This is not a complete list, I want to say, because there was too much stuff to write.
Yes. So, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 will be released this summer.
Yeah. So
that is a Switch exclusive.
So, yep, that's coming out summer.
Yep. Super Mario Maker 2
got announced.
That
is happening. So that's the sequel to Super Mario Maker, which was a Wii U game. This looks like to be pretty similar, where you're making Mario levels and sharing them with friends. The difference is...
How can you improve that?
Well, here's how. You can improve it by adding new parts and pieces to levels that weren't in the first game, like slopes. You can have slopes for Mario to go up and down. You also things have been put in from the Super Mario 3D World games. Okay. For one being the cat suit, where you can climb walls with the Mario characters.
Huh.
So this will, like the first game, have different styles. So you can do like the 8-bit style to the Super Mario World style to Super Mario, a new Super Mario Brothers style. Presumably, the Nintendo Online stuff now will make it easier than ever to share stuff with friends because there's already an ecosystem now on the Switch.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks really cool. And you'll be able to use it in the handheld mode to do touchscreen things. Presumably, there will be radial menus if you want to create when the system is docked.
Okay.
So yeah, it seems cool.
But
I'll check this out now that I have a system that can run it.
But when will they implement an Odyssey mode where I can do 3D levels?
Not yet. No 3D levels yet. These are all side-scrolling.
Okay.
You know.
Other stuff that got announced: Fire Emblem: 3 Houses will launch in July.
So this had been announced. This is we're finally getting a release month.
Maybe they'll stick with it because, as we all know, Yoshi's Crafted World has been delayed several times.
But it's finally coming out.
We actually have a release date.
Soon.
March 29th.
March 29th. Also, I don't have it here, but if you want to try it, there is a demo on the Nintendo Store for free right now.
Did you try it?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I was too busy playing one of the games I'll talk about later.
Yeah, of course
on
you
my
were.
Switch. So I did not try it, but yes, Switch owners can go check out Yoshi's Crafted World now.
All right. We also mentioned Link's Awakening and a new Platinum Games title. That's Platinum Games Studio.
Yes.
Title called Astral Chain.
Astral Chain. So all we know
Whatever
about
this
this
is.
one, we saw some footage. It looks like a Platinum game.
Okay.
And they are known for, of course, Bayonetta and other such character action games. But yeah, it looks like it has something to do with Ninja Cops.
Ninja Cops.
Ninja Cops.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Seems
Okay.
cool. That's, so yeah, there was other stuff, a little small stuff as well. But these were the big hits.
Okay.
So yeah, big, pretty good direct, if I say so.
Yeah. Thoughts. Before we get to your actual thoughts, do you have any other tidbits or...
One thing that I
Talk
didn't
about?
write down that I do want to mention before we move on. GDC is coming up. That's the Game Developers Conference. And there is a very unique keynote that's going to happen that some people are spreading a lot of potentially large rumors about. Google.
Okay.
Google, not a company that you necessarily think about when you think about video games, is doing a keynote presentation at GDC. People are
Really?
wondering what this means.
Why would Google
Yes.
be interested in a game developers conference? Game developers
People
conference.
are split about this. Some people think it's something small, like they could just be talking about how they're doing a bigger initiative about their mobile game stuff, and that, well, that's
Yes,
all this
Google, I'm
is.
talking to you.
Other people think that it's about like a box that could be a streaming box potentially, or maybe streaming service for video games that would already work with their streaming devices such as Chromecast. And then of course the usual rumor is, are they getting into the console space? And some people are even going that far and being like, they're gonna Microsoft on us and put out a box. I don't think that's true. I think it's somewhere probably closer to like streaming service.
So, when people say games, that's usually what they think of.
Yeah.
Is console games.
But it could be literally anything.
But there's an even bigger game market out there.
Yeah.
Mobile games.
Right. So,
And that's where I think Google's going to come in and be like, mobile games are huge. We have a platform.
yeah.
And they're essentially a console for phone consoles.
That being
If you want to say
said,
that.
that being said, though, I think that if they also have the infrastructure, if they really, really wanted to get in before all the rest of the companies get in on a really big, major streaming service, they would be the ones who could do it.
Well, yeah, they have the infrastructure
Yeah,
to do it.
so I'm kind of split. It could be mobile related, it could be streaming related, but it's one of those two things.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll find out, I think, next week.
Yeah, Game Developers Conference.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. I have no other tidbits.
No other tidbits, so let's move into thoughts then. Before I talk about the games I played, did you play any games?
I didn't have a chance to play any games this weekend.
I've had nothing but chances to play games.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I played Jackbox with my friends. That's always fun.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, it was post NASCAR, so we were all shooting on each other.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. But there's not... Jackbox is an old game.
Yes.
We have games that came out
We
this
have
last
brand
week.
new hot games. to
All
talk
right,
about.
so give me a hot take on the hot game this week.
Well, I have two games. Which one do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about the Xbox One game or the Switch game
Well,
first?
let's talk about the Switch game because
Yes.
I saw you playing a lot of
man.
this,
It's
and I saw
Yeah.
you not winning a lot of this.
to be fair, not winning does a pretty big disservice here because the game I played a battle royale game.
Which is surprising because it's also Tetris?
You spoiled it because I played the only battle royale game you could ever get me to play is this game, Tetris 99, which we talked about briefly last week. One of the things that came out of the Nintendo Direct, it is free for people who have a Switch and have the online service, Nintendo's online service. If you have that, you can download it. It is free. It is exactly what it sounded like. You are playing Tetris against 99 people.
Oh.
Or you are, I guess, one of 99 people playing Tetris, all against each other.
Okay.
And I mean against each other. If you've ever played competitive Tetris, you know garbage blocks happen
Yes.
if you are doing well and they get shot to your opponent. How Tetris 99 works is you are playing a game of Tetris at the same time as everybody else. Garbage blocks do happen, but you actually get to choose strategically who you send of the 99 people your garbage to. So you do this either manually, you can move the left stick on the Switch controller to target any one of the little boxes that you see playing Tetris to the left or right of you, or you can be a little bit more strategic and be like, I want to send garbage to people who are attacking me, like who are sending garbage at me,
Okay.
or I want to send garbage to people who are almost out to KO them, or I want to send garbage to random people, or I want to send garbage to people who are getting a lot of KOs or badges.
Okay.
You earn badges for KOs. All of this leads to, of course, the last one standing. When you get KO'd, you are out. And this goes on throughout. When the game hits 50 people remaining, it speeds up. That's when you get your speed up.
Yay.
Speeds up a second time when there are 10 people remaining. And that's when it gets hardcore. When you get to 10 people, then everybody's going for KOs, and everybody is getting those badges. Those badges, by the way, also are incentivized because if you get more KOs, your badges then multiply the amount of lines of garbage that you're actually sending to your opponents. So that's what makes it even more hardcore. Not only is it getting faster, but your opponents are getting more and more lines of garbage to throw at you, meaning that you could potentially even be maybe halfway through your Tetris board, get hit by one bit of garbage, instantly get KO'd.
Yep.
So that's why getting number one is incredibly difficult. I have been in second place now, I want to say about 8 times.
Oh!
I have never won. Other games, I get all the way down to eliminating like round 50 or 30 because it really all depends on who you're against. And that, of course, is, like most online matchmaking, random. You don't know whether out amongst the 99 whether there's going to be a hotshot Tetris player who's really, really good who's going to specifically take you out. Because they can. I'm not saying that you'll ever be able to squint like tight enough to see exactly who is almost being like out, but you could, in theory, see like, oh, this person looks like they're almost out. I'm going to move my thing reticle over here while I'm playing Tetris and take them out.
You may need a bigger screen than just the handheld.
Yeah, I haven't. I've only played it portable. I actually have not played this docked yet. I wonder if that would make a difference. If I actually would be looking more on the side of my screen to see if I could take anybody out. That's potentially true for people with large screens. They could. I've only been playing handheld, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. I've been loving it. It's a great deal if you already have the online service, which probably a lot of you who bought Super Smash Brothers do. So this is perfect kind of thing to bring you back to your Switch. It definitely has worked for me. And it's a good complement, I think, to Tetris Effect. Because Tetris Effect, the one thing it didn't have was a multiplayer mode. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a really, really good like companion piece in a way. Where it's like, oh, play some Tetris 99 to get my competitive Tetris on. Play some Tetris Effect to get my like zone out Tetris on. It's very, very good.
It's weird. It's weird how Tetris, you
Tetris,
know,
come
so
back.
this old game Tetris,
Yeah.
it's simple. Blocks, clear lines, but It's evolved with the times.
It really, really has.
It really has.
And it's such a Nintendo thing to do, too. To like be like, yeah, we're pretty good at Battle Royale. It's Tetris.
Now, what's going to happen with the game once there's not 100 people all playing at the same time?
That's a good question. So the game will go if it doesn't get 99 people within a certain cutoff. I have not had that happen to me, but I'm sure that that's built so that way in the future, say, if there's 25 people on Tetris, you can still play Tetris against 25 people.
Okay.
But it is. I'm getting full games every single time at this point.
All right. I wonder if like there's AI just to fill it out, or if it's actually
They could do that,
all people.
but I don't think they have been yet.
Okay. Well, it's a new
Yeah.
game. They wouldn't have a need
Right.
to.
So we'll see what happens as the years go.
All right.
But I haven't just been playing that.
All right. So you've tasted the crack.
The crack.
Down.
And I'm down.
You're down. You're not. You're down. You're down. You're down. You're gonna triple down this thing.
Good triple down, because it's Crackdown 3. Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Terry Crews, how is your game?
So Terry Crews is in this game. That is the best part about this game.
Is that the only best part about this game?
Okay, I'm kind of being facetious here. Crackdown 3 is complicated to talk about because depending on the person you are, this will either be exactly what you want it to be, or it will be incredibly disappointing. Right now, the game is kind of getting trashed on review-wise. It is not getting that great of a reaction. I think people were expecting it to be a lot more than it is. And I am partially on that side. I say partially because I, too, was a little underwhelmed with the package. It is incredibly similar to Crackdown 1. It takes only a couple of the things that were in Crackdown 2 because, if you remember correctly, people had the same reaction to Crackdown 2. People were not into it. So, with Crackdown 3, they haven't learned anything. It is very similar in vibe to, okay, we put out a sequel to Crackdown. It has the things that you want in a Crackdown game. Your agility orbs, your jumping tall buildings, your beating up bad guys. All that's in this game. What it doesn't have is a lot of surprises. And what it doesn't have is a narrative that matters. It doesn't have all the things that people had on their wish list about what they wanted Crackdown 3 to ultimately be.
What do you think people were expecting at not just like an HD release of Crackdown 2? Because it's been literal years.
It has been, get this is fun math. It's been 13 years since Crackdown 1. It has been 9 years since Crackdown 2.
So it's been a Kingdom Hearts worth of waiting for Crackdown 3.
It's been a long time. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So yeah, so the only reason why this matters is because open world games like Crackdown have evolved a lot since Crackdown 2 even came out, especially since Crackdown 1. You've seen the superpower open world game been done now several times and way better than Crackdown 1.
You're looking at you, Saints Row.
All 3 Infamous games have happened since then. Saints Row 4 has happened since then.
Yep.
All of those games did superpower open world better than Crackdown 1 even did. They improved on them in several ways. Crackdown 3 doesn't learn from any of those games. In fact, it feels like Crackdown 1 with a better physics engine, better graphics, and a slightly better mission variety. The biggest problem with Crackdown 1 is that literally all you did was go and kill people. There were no other missions. There were also some side stuff that you could do, rooftop races and car races. But that is it. It was literally a game about collecting orbs and shooting or punching dudes. That's it. That was beginning and end of Crackdown 1. Crackdown 3 at least tries to introduce yes, ultimately you are going to have to shoot a dude. But before you shoot a dude, here are some dude-infested areas where you have to do certain shut down certain valves, blow up certain canisters, climb certain towers. There's things built around the missions that it's not just show up, shoot this dude. But that does happen. So yeah, there's boss battles per se. There's a big mech fight at one point. I haven't finished it, I should say, so I don't know if there's stuff I haven't seen. I've done most of the game, and that's pretty much it.
So at this point, you've seen most of the game. You've done most of the game.
Yeah.
Repeating missions.
It's
Or
pretty much
variety.
there's a lot of repetition in this game. Expect to do the same kind of mission over and over and over again. Oh, I have to go here and shut down this mining operation by shooting all the glowy points on the side of this robot. You do that 5 times. Oh, I have to go and shut down all these valves. You do that 5 times. Oh, I have to go here, beat all of those robots until the big robot appears, and then kill the robot, and then you do that 5 times. It is that kind of game.
Okay, so you're saying all this,
Mm-hmm.
and when I hear open world superhero game, the one that comes to mind is the most recent one,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Also,
Let's compare those
Spider-Man
two.
happened, which makes this game look incredibly light in comparison. Spider-Man is able to do superhero open world at the same time as having a story that matters, at the same time of having a game world that probably is double in size the one that Crackdown 3 has.
And Spider-Man came out like months ago.
And yeah, Spider-Man is still new and has plenty of stuff for you to do in it.
Like they just did their DLC in October or December.
And yeah, and it does still do the things that Crackdown 1 did well. You're still going around getting orbs. The only problem is it doesn't do it as well as Crackdown 1 did. The orbs, agility orbs, are disappointing. There's not enough of them. They're tucked away in weird spaces. They're not where you think they would be, like the way that the first game taught you they would. It's disappointing in almost every single way that a Crackdown game should be. However, I can't stop playing it.
However, you are addicted to this game.
I am having a lot of fun with it. And
Okay.
that's the thing. That's why I led with the negative stuff. Because, yeah, it's not good. I'm going to go up here and tell you, this is not a good game. Because it's like Crackdown. And yeah, Crackdown was a thing that was good because of the time and place that it came out. People were dying for Xbox 360 games in 2006. People wanted the Halo 3 beta that was on the disc of Crackdown 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you believe that? That's how old this game is.
Uh,
And so there was a time and place where the Crackdown formula of getting orbs and shooting dudes wasn't enough. 2019, that is not enough anymore. But it's still a loop that I really like, and I didn't realize how much I liked it until a week ago when I said I had played Crackdown 1 briefly. And it reminded me, oh, this still totally works. This game still is addictive to me. And Crackdown 3, because it's so close to that, I still am having a lot of fun with that loop. And I don't mind as much how repetitive it is, because I like games like that. I like games where I can zone out and just kind of do the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I played in the first day that I played it for, I want to say, 5 to 6 straight hours.
okay.
I spent a whole day playing that game. I didn't want to stop, and the carrot on the stick of improving the character was enough where I didn't get tired of it. And so yeah, so it's something that I have a hard time recommending.
So if you're a fan of Crackdown,
Yeah, but even if you're a fan of Crackdown, though, I think you'll be severely disappointed by this package.
is that just because games have come out since that have done
Have done it
everything
better.
better?
Yeah. And that's why I can't recommend you spend money on this.
So even though you've had fun with it,
Yeah, I don't want anybody to spend any cash on this. However, if you have Game Pass, and I do have Game Pass, you don't have to spend any additional money on this because you
It's-
already have this game.
okay.
One quick thing, though. I did not try the multiplayer mode. There is a multiplayer mode that is a competitive multiplayer thing that actually has a damage model in it. So it puts you in a different map where you're fighting against other people in kind of like a kill confirmed kind of style. But the walls and ceilings can break in certain places. And it uses, quote, the cloud, unquote, on the Microsoft servers, which is something that they touted about the release of Crackdown 3 years ago, to maintain the same destruction over the entire 10 people that are playing. So technically impressive, sure, but it doesn't seem that fun, so I have not played it.
Okay.
But yeah, I just want to briefly mention that, yeah, I didn't touch that, but it doesn't seem like something I would enjoy.
All right.
So yeah, Crackdown. I don't know. It's Crackdown, so you know exactly what this thing is. But yeah, you might not like it.
Okay.
Just a warning.
So fans of Crackdown, yay! Everyone
Maybe
else,
yay. Everyone else pass. There's other things to play right now.
Does it feel like they kind of like just put this out there?
Yes,
like,
I think they put it out.
We spent enough time on this. Just give it what you have.
I think it had such a tumultuous development, like that they were at this point. They were just like, we just need to put this out on as a product on shelves, because otherwise it would just be another huge canceled project like they had with Scalebound, and they can't afford to do that now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does this feel like a Duke Nukem Forever type of situation?
No, because it wasn't as long, and also the stakes were lower.
Okay.
Everybody kind of knew that this was what this was going to be. It's just that people kind of hoped that it would be better.
Okay.
Nobody knew what Duke Nukem Forever would be, and it ended up sucking more than anybody could have totally told it would. So yeah, different situations.
Okay. Well, that does it for us.
That's Crackdown, and that's video games.
That's
the Media Boat
Boat
Podcast.
So let's plug away here.
Let's plug away. This has been the Media Boat Podcast. If you want to see us live, we're live on Wednesday nights, around 6-ish Pacific time. So check us out on YouTube if you want to watch the live stream. You just search YouTube for Media Boat Podcast, and you'll find us. You can also catch the audio version of our podcast as well on services such as Apple Podcasts. Just search Media Boat Podcast as well as other places that have the Apple Podcast-based RSS feed. You can find us as well. Just search Media Boat. You can also find us on social media. We're on Twitter at MediaBoatCast. We're on Facebook, Media Boat Podcast. Find our page and like it. You can also find us on Twitch.tv when we're streaming video games. I'm sure you'll be streaming something else soon. That's twitch.tv/MediaBoat. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, if you want to help us with money, you can donate on patreon.com/MediaBoat and help us out with as little as $1 a week.
$1 a month.
$1 a month. That little amount can even help us out. So please do. That's it. So we'll see you guys next week for another episode.
Yep. Next week we will have our Academy Awards wrap-up of what won, what didn't won.
What won.
We may be playing some Anthem, if I can get my hands on it, maybe.
Anthem, please, you play that. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want any part of that. But yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That'll be it.
Yep. All right. Tune in next week. Until then, we have other episodes if you want to listen to that. Otherwise, we will see you all next week.
Check out our Oscar prediction podcast as well.
Yes, we have that. That's up right now.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
All right. Let me So we're gonna say goodbye to you here on YouTube, but don't go away.
Don't go away.
We will be back about. Give me 6 minutes, 8 o'clock on the hour. We'll be back. Bye.
Oh boy.